Along our journey or any journey, you're going to face many difficulties. It's not going to be a straight and narrow path. There's going to be ups and downs and turnarounds, but you keep going. So in this video, we want to share with you some of the challenges we have faced.
One of the main challenges we faced this year was deer eating up our crops. Man, it's crazy because when we came out here last year, our veggies were nice. We brought them from our house, so they were great looking seedlings. And we thought that we had some type of agreement with the deer where they wouldn't mess up our garden and stuff. But this year, they tore up a lot of our crops. Our sweet potatoes, our peas, our watermelon, our okra, our pepper plants. They really took at it. It was really discouraging to know all the effort that we put into our cultivation and to know the expectations we have for our season, and then to see it decimated overnight. It was pretty crazy. We ended up getting a fence, an 8-foot fence, so we won't be going through that no more. That was definitely a challenge though, and it helped shape us for our future.
Another challenge we faced was growing our seedlings in a greenhouse that was mostly in the shade of canopy trees. And in the summer, we thought it was a great idea. The sun was high in the sky. There was heat in the greenhouse. It just felt like a great place to start our seedlings. And come to find out, as the seasons changed, the sun became lower in the sky and it wasn't as hot or had the right conditions for our seedlings. So our seedlings took a toll and they weren't growing as vigorously as we hoped. They weren't getting that bright sun that they needed to grow, and they just kind of tapered off. And that really stunted the growth of our season and really our expectations. And we had to reevaluate where our greenhouse was and how to make a secure greenhouse that will not get blown away by the high winds.
Which brings us to another challenge that we faced, was our greenhouse getting blown away by the high winds. We experienced it firsthand. We came out here in the spring. We purchased 3 greenhouses. We had them lined up next to each other. It was looking really beautiful. And next thing you know, a storm comes and took it away like a kite in the wind. And we saw our greenhouses all over everywhere, all across the sheds, all up on the roof. And it was a total disaster. The frames of our greenhouse got jacked up. We bought a little DIY makeshift greenhouse that you get off of Amazon, and that really didn't do the trick. I think it was, the material, it was an aluminum, so it was a very light greenhouse. Now, honestly, we created what we thought was a good foundation for our greenhouse. We had cinder blocks tied to the straps on the greenhouse plastic. We had rebar that we took and we bent it into the shape of a U, and we tampered that into the ground. But none of that ended up working. One reason why is because we have sandy soil in our space, and at our home, our greenhouse is facing south and it's nestled up against the back of our house. So we don't have the same issues there as we had here, but we brought our expectations there to this space, and it's not the same. And it was just a hardcore learning lesson for us. It drove us to the wooded area where a greenhouse structure already exists that had a solid foundation. It's how big is it?
It's about 20 by 40 feet.
A 20 by 40 feet greenhouse. Nobody's picking up out the ground. It's solid, but again, it's a wooded space, so it's only really ideal in the height of the summer. And from there, if we had to do it again, we would take our plants out earlier to harden them off as the sun gets lower in the horizon during the change of the season. So those are 3 challenges that we've faced so far that have greatly affected our learning experience. We learned via the hard knocks life but it's cool because we won't ever have to repeat those mistakes again. We have our fence. We're gonna get a greenhouse and create a better foundation. We're gonna get tires, put sand in them. We're gonna get long posts, put them 2 feet in the ground, and we're gonna do a lot to make sure that we have better greenhouses in the future. Now, to be honest, we're not gonna have the most professional greenhouse just because we ain't got it right now in our bank accounts, which is okay. But we're gonna get what we can. We're gonna get something better than what we had before, and we're gonna do the best that we can, and we're gonna look forward to a prosperous growing season. Make sure that y'all don't get discouraged by challenges. Take them as learning lessons, and just take them and embrace them. Embrace learning lessons and take a deep breath and say, yes, I get to learn. Yes, I get to experience, because that's priceless. We gain priceless value. The amount of money that we spent on jacking up and learning these lessons, it's the amount of money a person will spend or during the school semester. So it's really cool because these lessons are going to go with us for the long run, and we can't wait to show y'all the difference as we get older and as we grow wiser in our growing journey.
So by sharing our experience, we hope you can take these lessons and learn from them so that you can make better decisions on your growing journey.